Welcome everybody to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven. Okay, guys. So, like I said yesterday, I'm back on PC this week. I'm still working my champion points, and I'm also hoping to finish my stamina warden today or tomorrow, and get that build out for my tank, my warden tank build. So, you know, busy, just really busy. But today I'm just, I'm going to see what the dailies are, queue up a random. I'm hoping I can, it's up. I'm about to find out here. Yeah, we're good. But the one thing I really want to discuss is my thoughts about, some of the trolls I get, and, some of the dislikes from players, whatever, so on and so forth. I consider myself probably one of the most disliked players in Elder Scrolls by most players. But not players who know me, per se, who really do play with me. Players who play with me, they tolerate me. I could say that. Imperial City Prison, that's nice. Let's see what the other ones are. One. I'm thinking. Yep. Okay, that's pretty good. Anyways, one of the major things that I really, it's funny because when I take a look at things and when I go back, and I'll say this, when I go back and look at some of the videos, I can understand why players don't like me so much. And most people don't understand that when I came into this game, like a year ago, it was a little over a year ago, majority of players were running the same type of shit and not getting the same results, and then they're complaining on forums. Now I read forums, but I don't have access to posts because I lost my code. But they complain that this class does this much more damage than this class is better than this class, la 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 la. And the one thing that they failed to realize was it wasn't designed like that. And that's the one thing I realized coming into this game. I just have a lot of experience in MMOs, and I take a look at things as like, okay, well, this is a class-based system. What's going to be the strengths and weaknesses to each class? Is this, a linear progression? So on and so forth. But, I dissect every aspect of the game as much as possible to make me a better player. But the one thing I did, and I just was like, why is everybody doing this? Why is everybody doing that? And here to find out, it's from other YouTubers who's telling them this shit. And it got crazy for me that I was like, wow, why is this occurring so much? Why is this, happening? And it was crazy. So I went, one second, guys. I am going to be right back. Alright, sorry, my daughter accidentally, Why did they put that up there? The kids are home for the summer, by the way. They are home. Anyways, so there's a lot of things going on with, just people hating me. This is the best example I can give, is how to properly build your tank video. I had I think 50, maybe 50 something dislikes. Why? Because I kept telling players, go high health. Go high health. And if you read majority of those posts, those feedbacks from other players, they all said, a lot of them who hated it were all talking about the health. I was saying that's too much health. That's too much health. Now, everybody is going with health builds because I kept telling players your mitigating effects scale from health, right? They scale from health. That's what this game's designed for. And, it doesn't bother me that players dislike me, to be honest with you, because I never really wanted to be a YouTuber to begin with. And at the same time, I'm here to try to input to players you know, the pros and cons of this game, right? So the game seems linear in design, right? Because it's class-based and it has levels, and even the CP points you gain, you know, after XP you gain so much. But its sandbox elements lie in the numbers and the gear and the sets, because you're trading off different, you know, values. So it has the sandbox implication to it in that design. So it has a class-based system with the sandbox element. And that's why I'm always telling people there's no best in slot, because if you take one set of gear, you apply it to every class, like say Magicka or stamina builds, you're not going to get the same results. Same thing with tank gear. You know, you're never going to get the same results. Each class is built very, it's very sandbox. You can do every role. You can play every role with every class, and you're never going to get the same result if you try to build one class like the other. It's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen. And I'm sorry. Okay. But anyways, so one of the major things that I'm always just trying to, you know, tell people, I don't care about trolls. You're going to have them no matter what. I'm going to cue this random. But I'm going to have trolls no matter what, guys. But I appreciate my viewers and my subscribers regardless, because players who have stuck with me have been there. And I've picked up subs along the way. Now, I'm not as popular as some of the other big YouTubers. It doesn't bother me either way. Okay, it's not the daily, but whatever. Sometimes I roll the dice. I'm just rolling dice, y'all. And once again, did I mention my kids are home from school? But okay, they're on something. Might be quicker than I anticipated. I'm just in here for the bonus XP, to be honest with you guys. But one of the major things that I'm all... I forgot to switch out a skill. Let me get that. But I'm going to have haters. But if you guys go back to videos, that some of the things that I've said have come to fruition, right? And these players who have been experts, supposedly, now address the issues and are like, oh, you know, well, yeah, now health's a good thing because it's the meta. You know, I don't believe that one, you know, minute. So, you better get me out. Thank you. Don't need the head, but that's crazy. But, you know, if you look back at a couple of the videos I've done, and you'll see the dislikes, now people have done it because the meta's changed. I'm always one to try to go against meta. I do play, I guess, to what you would call typically meta. And meta, to me, is the people who run the common builds or the most acceptable or the most productive, right? So it's kind of what we call cookie cutting in MMOing. And I have some of those builds, and some of them work out really good, and I'm not going to, you know, say that's not the case, but the game changes, and a lot of things are going to change based on, you know, ZOS's implementation of, you know, CP points, passives, whatever changes they make, nerfs, buffs, whatever. So builds will change accordingly to that. So, but to me, I don't believe in the common meta. I don't believe in that shit whatsoever. Because I'm one that's always in here trying to prove to people that you can do pretty much anything. And it kind of, I know a lot of players say, oh, this set sucks, that set sucks. There are a few sets that need some heavy attention. But I usually pride myself on trying to Sometimes that'll bug up if you... There we go. I don't know why anybody's not getting these ads, but oh well. There we go, moving. Okay, got that. Prosperous. No thank you, but but like gear. You have a lot of options for gear in this game, and the devs make kind of things a little interesting, and I'm always playing around, and there are better sets out there that will give you better results, but then there's sets that you're completely caught off by, because you can kind of offset those differences in the CP points and trait values, and you'd be surprised. And that's kind of why I keep playing this game. Crafted gear is completely viable. In other MMOs, crafted gear is pretty much shit. It's just shit, you know, and this game, that's not the case. So that's another reason I really enjoy this game so much. This is how I explain it to people. I'm like, why do they come out with motifs if the crafted gear wasn't completely even doable? You know, that's the one thing. Now, I honestly think that drop sets, especially towards end game, have the better results majority of the time. Is that to say that you can't run and crafted gear and have end game results? Absolutely not. You know, that's the best thing I really love, and that's why, once again, I stay with the game, you know, a lot. People love this dungeon. I've ran this dungeon so many times.
Let's keep moving.
Out! A lot of you! You've no right to enter! Leave me!
But once again, like, I love it because players are always like, oh well, this class can't heal, that class can't heal. Then you heal vets, and all of a sudden, oh, they can heal vets, but they can't heal trials. All of a sudden, they heal trials, but they can't heal vet trials. Oh, they can heal vet trials, they can't heal hard mode vet trials. It's like it's continuous. It's just. It's always been so just polluted with, you know, the supposedly, but if they were really elite, they would really take a look at, you know, the capabilities that the game offers and what the devs really do. And that's what drives me nuts, guys, and I'll speak out on it. I'll call these players out, and players will hate me for it.
Just the same. Have they come looking for the blade, brother?
And it doesn't bother me that they hate me, really, to be honest with you. I don't lose any sleep, let's put it that way.
The mortals, they want. Let's show them how wrong they are.
Yeah.
There's no ritual.
Welcome, April. I'm trying to find my old pills. I'm sorry, but you must have thrown them away. And I was going to say that just in case it might.
I have 3 girls, by the way, guys. If anybody's wanting to know.
But now we have to go back to the.
You're a tenacious lot. If you insist, I'll be happy to feed you to the blade.
One second.
That blade you wield, how did you come upon it?
All that should concern you is that it counsels me. It convinced me of your betrayal, of the need for the students to pay for their insolence.
It has led you astray.
On the contrary, this blade grants me a clarity I've never had in life. Respect it.
Okay, my daughter's looking for something, so... Anyways, so... Yes, we know the rules of this. Everybody hates this boss. Blow the horror horn right from the get. All my kids, my oldest is grown up, and... Nice. No deaths on the... Uh-oh. We lost one. Wasn't so bad. Training.
This must be the ritual site. The day
Best group ever. We're doing pretty good.
Narayan, cease this madness.
But yeah, the meta.
Did your horde
I don't believe in the meta. I don't give into that whole idea. Something I don't, you know,
Wanted you here all along.
the blade?
I don't go with that meta crap. I mean, I use the meta. If I use the word meta, it's for changes. The changes and what we need to take into consideration given the changes. If you're going to use it in that reference, I can see. But if you're going to use it as the most popular builds or whatever, and I think a lot of players use it in the reference like with these changes. Okay, if you're going to use the meta word in that aspect, I can understand. But if you're going to say specifically, this character is, you know, the best in this meta, I don't believe that. I never give into that.
Master, and he is me.
We don't have to, like, keep the ads.
Not alive. Never leave here alive.
Get out of there. Nice. Gotcha. Bastard.
Don't even need the blade to best me. You're trying my patience.
Okay, after this, I'll hit the war horn again. Weave up. Of course it's me. Ah, come on, resist it, resist it, resist it. Yes! Oh no, I didn't. No, I died. Come on, res. No, no, res, res, res. Don't let this kill you. No, stop DPSing. Stop DPSing. Res. What the heck? Of course it's your bad. What are you doing?
The blade will end you.
Oh my god. Time to play recovery. Nice thing about being dead on this game, you can type. On console, you can't. It's like you can't type when you're dead. I don't know why. Oh yeah, he's dead. Resist it, resist it. I got it. Just DPS. I like shields on a healer. Oh, that's pretty good. Not so much.
The mortal did well in feeding my killing word. My black hedge.
Yeah, got 1 point on that run. It's fine.
Never has the whispering from that blade been so pronounced.
You're the Daedric fiend that created it, aren't you? That weapon must never again be allowed to influence mortals.
It has hurt you, has it not? Perhaps you can destroy it.
It's almost 4:06 on this, but yeah, let's, you know, once again, I don't really care what players think of me, honestly. You know, like I said, I never planned on becoming a YouTuber. I have trolls. You're never going to get rid of trolls. Even the most popular YouTubers will have trolls. And it's funny because somebody had thought I was, like, my whole thing about Gilliam, they thought like I was one of Gilliam's trolls. I've been to Gilliam's site. I watched his vid. I have made comments. I do it on a lot of them. And I have no problem, like, flogging people. And people do it to me, too. Actually, this is the reason I think I like my subs really good. Because a lot of my regular subs will correct me. Will just straight out be really cool about it and be like, hey, Mystic, switch it on this and try it that way. You know, I think you'll get some better results. And I'm like, hey, man, that's cool. That's like really cool, because I'm not one of these people who you know, I've made mistakes along the way. And I told somebody, one of my trolls the other day, I'm like, yeah, I remember that video. I keep it up because it reminds me that I'm human. It reminds me that I can make mistakes, and we all can. And I think that's a very important aspect. You know, the trolls are going to hate, right? And like Cat Williams says, you know, let a hater do its job. It's going to hate. The more people who hate you, you're obviously doing something right, right? And that's not a bad thing. That's definitely not a bad thing. I was very competitive, and when I was young, and I think I still am to a degree, but I always come to realize the more you win, the more people are after you, right? The more they're completely trying to, you know, hate on you. And to me, it's like, I don't hate anybody, really. If I call people out, it's not because I hate them or, you know, whatever. I disagree with them. I don't want players to be fed bullshit, even from me. That's why I like you guys, my subs, because you guys will point out things if I'm missing something. And I think that's important. I think as a community, we can learn from each other. And positive feedback like that is good. But there's players who aren't ever going to take positive feedbacks. You know, they kept putting out garbage and kept telling players this is best in slot, or this is how you want to build all your characters, or this is this and this is that. And that's something when I came and I became a YouTuber for Elder Scrolls, never YouTube prior to this, for gaming or anything like that. I said to myself, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll put out, you know, stuff to prove them wrong, you know, to basically show everybody you can do this, you can do that. Embrace the possibilities. What the devs gave us in this game is amazing, simply amazing, to be honest with you. First class-based game I've ever bumped into. I didn't like the idea when I came in here that it was class-based. Elder Scrolls to me was never class-based prior to online application. But more and more I play it, the more and more I stay with it, because the sandbox elements are still there, and it keeps me engaged. Because somebody asked me, one of my guildies, like, why do you play Mystic? I mean, do you have fun, you know, anymore? I mean, you have all these sets, you have all these tunes, and I'm like, what keeps me playing is what can I build? You know, what can I do? Well, what kind of application could this have? How far can I take this build? And that's what keeps me playing this game. You know, that sandbox element in gear selection, in class, in race, and how you put it all together. It's what makes the game fun for me. So, and once again, players are always going to come out on here and, you know, rag on me, and I don't really care at the end of the day. You know, they can. I gave one of my trolls the opportunity to say why he thought this a specific build was trash, and I gave him the opportunity. I gave him an open chance to completely just trash the build as much as possible. You know, it doesn't have enough sustain. It has this. It has that. And that's the one thing I'm always telling players. You're going to sacrifice something down the line somewhere in this game. That's what makes it sandbox. When I take a look at different gear sets, you know, I'm trading off something for something. Like Julianos is a prime example of this. You know, you only get 292. You can gold this up and you can get close to 300 spell damage, which is really cool. But then you take other sets that will give you 500 spell damage, but it has a percentage proc. So now you add this with different trait values like Nirnholm, and you increase the weapon damage, because remember, Nirnholm doesn't drop in drop gear. It doesn't. The trait is not available in drop gear other than Maelstrom and Vet DSA weapons. So with that in mind, can you pump up the base damage of the missing value? Yes, you can. Is it more considerable than the drop gear? No, not really. But that's what keeps it competitive. It pushes up a decent amount to keep it viable. And then you take that into consideration with your penetration through your CP points, and you can make up the difference. And that's why I'm always telling players, a best in slot for me is a linear progression, right? So a lot of class-based games is linear. So when we take a look at World of Warcraft, you had light armor, you had medium armor, you had heavy armor, then you had healing armor. And then later on, it even got a little bit more specific. So that's vanilla WoW. And then later on, it was like, okay, you can get medium armor this and medium armor that. But depending on your class and your layout, that was best in slot because it was tier progression. So if you had tier 3 gear and tier 4 came out, well, then tier 4 is best in slot because you have to go up, you know, to the next tier to get the best set of gear, hence the word best in slot. Best in slot in a sandbox game never applied, because when we take a look at games like SWG, it depends on what your, you know, how you're making your build and the negative aspects to the armor as well as the positives, and that's what the devs incorporated in this game as well through the passives, and putting the sandbox element into it. And like yesterday, I went over this for heavy armor. In the medium armor, you're always going to go ahead and you're going to get your weapon critical and you're going to get weapon damage, and in the heavy armor, it scales with wrath depending on how much damage you take. So that is going to impact your selection for how you proceed with your build. Same thing with like the Warden. The Warden tank right now benefits from Ice Staff more than you would think, because if you go into, now here's the thing I was telling people also yesterday, when we take a look at Destruction Staff, hold on, gotta go up. And you go into Tri-Static Focus, and anytime you do a Frost charged, fully charged Frost heavy attack, it provides the taunt. If you're going to play DPS with a nice staff, you just want to, put any points into Tri-Focus. That's pretty much about it. But this is what's also nice. While a Frost Staff is equipped, blocking costs Magicka instead of stamina. So block is now different for a Warden if they're going to be using an Ice Staff. So you want more Magicka than stamina. So the sandbox elements are there. It's completely implemented, and that's why I say there's no best in slot, because every class is going to get different results. So based on those parameters, and you're never going to have one set of gear that's going to be the end all situation for every class. It's just never going to happen. And people are going to hate me for saying that. People are going to hate me because I don't go meta, and people are going to hate me because this and that. And it is what it is, guys. I'm not, you can't make everybody happy. And at the end of the day, the only thing I'm trying to do is, show other players, hey, what can you do? Can you do this? Can you do that? And diminishing returns. I don't know how many times I got bitched at about diminishing returns, but now all the big boys acknowledge it. But it's been there, and now they're like, oh, because it's more front-loaded. It was always bullshit, but all my subs, all you guys have been around for it. You guys stuck with me for that. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for, you know, you've given me as much as I've given you, and we're a community, and that's why I appreciate you guys so much. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed by me. Trust me. And I know I can be a little arrogant, and I can be a little narcissistic. Well, not even a little narcissistic, a lot, actually. But, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm human. I'm not, you know, without any flaws. I have flaws. And let the trolls come. You know, let them come. And at the end of the day, like I said, you can go back to that video, how to properly build your tank. Look at most of the posts. They're all bitching about health. Now look at tanks now. Look at them. A majority of them are going health build. And there's some players out there being ridiculed prior to these changes for having too much health. But now everybody's going. Why? Because of mitigating effects. But for us who already knew it, we stood our ground, and you know, it's paid off for us in the long run. So once again, I do want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank all of you for feedbacks, the support. I even want to thank the trolls who haven't supported me, who have hated me, because you guys have been the fuel for my fire. And you guys have kept this channel burning, and I hope to see more trolls in the future. So once again, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.